welcome back to another episode of JV Starters. I'm your host, Andy Vigu. Once again, we are inviting back our special guest here. Why don't you introduce yourself again, Ben?
What's up, guys? I'm Benjamin, back again, ready to hopefully give some better takes this week. Andy rubbed it in my face, some of the takes I had that were a little bit cold last week. We'll probably touch on those for a second, but I'm a little bit riled up this week, ready to maybe give some better takes and defend myself a little bit. Come back.
Awesome. Well, I am wearing my Eagles hat. Got to rep the Eagles. It is football season, but I'm also repping the Phillies since they finally locked up the division, which has been really nice to watch them. And now they've been pounding on the beating up on the Dodgers a little bit in comeback fashion. You excited too? I mean, your Mariners are still hanging tough. They're in the wild card hunt right now.
Yeah, up until about probably 30 minutes ago, they were the hottest team in baseball. 10 straight. That was something special. I was very happy about that.
Right back into the wild card then.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, when you got modern day Hank Aaron playing for you over there, geez.
Yeah. Last night we were at dinner and Cal hit his 55th and his 56th, just tying Ken Griffey Jr. for the most ever in a Mariners season. It's something special, man. Something special.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I guess that's as much as the kid ever hit, huh?
56. He hit 56 twice. I think it was 97, 98 or something like that.
He's definitely in some rarefied air then.
Yeah. And how about those Eagles, man? Beating up on the Chiefs?
You know what? You're not going to hear me complain, buddy. I mean, people want to make this big deal about the tush push and offside. Come on, man. Like, you want to talk about that? We can look at the where the Chiefs are all lining up in the neutral zone. Come on. You don't have an argument.
Yeah, I mean, I think
better.
I think the offsides thing is a little bit there's quite a bit of credibility to it, but I mean, you're right because the defense lines up wrong too. So if anything, it's an offsetting penalty. It doesn't really matter. But yeah. I think they should start enforcing it and maybe blow it dead.
That's fine. I'm okay with it. Just call it even. You want to call it on one side? Make sure you're doing both. I'm okay with that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Besides, I figure if you really want to make a big deal, and I hear these idiots like Mad Dog. Oh, I'm so tired of it. Nobody cares what you think, Mad Dog. And you know what? There's no rule against anybody else doing it. You want to get out there and do it? Go do it.
Yeah,
but if you want to say no more doing it, well then I guess nobody. You're only allowed to have one guy tackle at a time. Then on defense, you can't have three people tackle.
Yeah, I didn't have the chance to watch the Seahawks game this week. I was on the road driving back down from Utah, but I listened to it, and from the sounds of it, it looks like the Seahawks have kind of adopted the tush push, but they're having their tight end take the snap under the center instead of the quarterback.
Well, so you weren't watching the playoffs last year, but that's exactly what Washington Commanders did in the playoffs against the Eagles.
Oh, okay.
In fact, they would run a shift, and he would move from the tight end spot over behind the quarterback, and then they would try and do a quick tush push.
Is it still Zach Ertz then for Washington?
No, it was not Zach Ertz. I can't think of the guy's name. It was I think they got another guy. I don't think
Thomas, Logan Thomas. Is he still playing?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't remember. Don't really matter.
He used to be a quarterback, so it makes sense. But yeah, man, that tush push it's coming back. Like people are still upset about it, like crazy.
That's good, and I hope they run an entire drive of tush pushes one time. Just, you know what? Let's just do it the entire thing. So
they probably could get enough yards to get a couple first downs.
All right, let's get to it. You got a hot topic. You got a good take. You got something you want to fire up today?
Yes, my first hot take I wanted to have. I want to know because this is a pretty big argument right now. But American League MVP in baseball, is it Cal Raleigh or Aaron Judge?
You know, I mean, I've always been of the opinion that when it comes down to most valuable player, it's not supposed to be most outstanding player. You're supposed to be the guy making a difference. And it feels like Cal Raleigh is the reason why, or a bigger reason why, the Mariners are where they are versus where the Yankees are where they are. So I don't think that the Yankees are benefiting as much from Judge as the Mariners are. But
Okay.
I'm not, to be, in fairness, I'm not watching either team super close. I'm sure you're watching a lot closer.
Yeah, I mean, can't say I'm watching any Yankees baseball, but I do have the stats pulled up right here. Cal Raleigh's played more games. Cal Raleigh has had more at-bats. Aaron Judge has more hits. Cal Raleigh has 56 home runs to Aaron Judge's 48. He has 15 more RBIs, 3 more stolen bases. Aaron Judge has a higher batting average, higher OPS, higher, slugging rate. So, and a higher WAR.
I think if you want to add to it, the catcher is a more significant position. Not everybody can go play catcher, but you can move a left fielder to center, and you could do some things like that.
Ohtani's going to start playing outfield.
So yeah, I think you've already made an argument there. I think it's got to be, if it's those two, then it's got to be Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, and then another reason I think that it would be Cal is A, I'm biased, and B, the switch hitting thing is nuts. Switch hitting? First off, you're a catcher. Second off, you're switch hitting. Switch hitting is crazy, the advantage it gives you. Because you have a new pitcher come in, he's a lefty instead of a righty, just switch to the other side of the plate. And then you're still taking him yard. Other players cannot do that. That is nuts to me.
Most switch hitters are not nearly as good from one side as they are on the other. And so if he's able to, if the differential between the one side and the other on him is less than other people, that's impressive.
Yeah. Did you watch the home run derby?
I watched the highlights of it.
Same.
Watched my guy win it.
The All-Star game, yes.
Yeah.
My guy won the home run derby. I thought it was really cool how in the home run derby he was switch hitting in the home run derby. Like, are you serious? Like, that is so cool to just be able to do it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's got to be Cal. I'm seeing in the media, everybody's pointing to Aaron Judge, and I just really don't get it because, I mean, catchers dictate the game. They're the ones that are, keeping the pitchers honest, keeping them on their toes, making sure that they're throwing the right pitches, and then they're also, defending home plate. They're defending against, runs being scored. I mean, just today, Cal Raleigh made a huge tag out at home base, and I mean, it's just they command the defense, and so I think that's a more valuable position than
I think you're right.
One of 3 outfielders. Yeah, it's a hot topic right now, so I'm glad that we're on the same page about that.
No problem, because you're gonna hate my first subject.
All right, hit me with it.
Look, I got to point to the scoreboard when I can. Okay, I got to spike the football when I can. Sometimes you don't know if you can wait till the end. So you did not like my take before the season started that the Colts were going to win the AFC South.
I liked it. I just didn't agree. I love the Colts.
I love the Colts. They are not going to win.
Yes, I liked it. I strongly disagreed. Indianapolis is a home away from home for me. I love that place. I love that city. I did not think it was going to happen.
We may have to go to the tape, though, because I'm pretty sure you said they're not going to do that with Daniel Jones. And,
I did say that.
When we look at the tape so far after 2 games, 71% completion rate, 588 yards, 111 passer rating, and you got all these Giants fans who are going, wait, what? And to top it all off, he may now have the best quarterback nickname in the league.
Indiana Jones. Oh, that is so sick, dude.
It's so good. It's so good. They may not win another game this year, but right now, I'm winning this take.
The Linsanity run is crazy right now. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought Daniel Jones would have a Linsanity run in Indianapolis? That is the most unlikely thing you could have told me at the start of the season. Oh my gosh, man.
Knowing Daniel Jones, though, he'll be out on this great run, wide open, and then he'll trip and fall.
Face plant right in the dirt, bro.
Hey, that was
great.
Gosh. I was cheering for that when he did it against my Eagles. He's running and he just decides to trip on the 10-yard line. All right, I'll take it.
So,
I'll tell you what?
What is your hot take?
And you know what they're saying in Indianapolis right now? Anthony Richardson, who?
Yeah. Okay. To touch on Anthony Richardson for a second.
Is Daniel Jones the best offseason acquisition?
I mean, if the season ended today, probably. I'm struggling to think of another one.
Micah Parsons is the other one, but
Micah Parsons, yeah.
Right. I mean, that's huge, but as of right now, this guy has won 2 games, and he's the bigger reason I think behind it.
Would the Packers be 2-0 without Micah Parsons? Probably.
Probably.
Would the Colts be doing this with Anthony Richardson? Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. I didn't think they would do it with Daniel Jones.
People are way over their skis on this, but they're talking MVP votes and stuff. If he keeps this up, he is the MVP. But
yeah.
We're 2 games in. Settle down. Pump the brakes.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I got it off my chest. I'm good.
was that your hot take? You just wanted to rub it in my face a little bit?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That was a hot take.
Hot take. Benjamin does not know ball. Yeah. So the Indianapolis thing, it's pretty crazy right now because I mean the game winner against the Broncos, that field goal with the penalty, that was 100% the right call. I've seen so many people complaining about that, but that was the right call.
What are you gonna do? Don't make a penalty.
Yeah, don't leverage the center.
Yeah. But the bigger thing is Denver's got an excellent defense. Bo Nix is good. Like everything is great over there. Why did you feel like you had to leverage on a 60-yard field goal?
And how did you let it get to that point against Daniel Jones? Either way, like you're playing against Daniel Jones. You shouldn't have been there.
You kind of have to let that guy, live and die by his thing. You bailed him out because he missed.
Yeah, and then instead of a 60, it's a 45.
Easy.
I mean, I saw Rodrigo Blankenship. Remember him, the kicker from a couple years ago with the big old goggles? Yeah. He was saying that like 55-yarders are the new 50, where it's like you're expected to be able. If you're a kicker today, you're expected to be able to make 55.
Oh, yeah.
So
if you can't kick over 50, I thought the Eagles were going to get rid of Jake Elliott after last year because he could not hit. He was 1 for 7 over 50 yards, and he's already hit 2 this year. So I think he's fixed it.
Yeah. The fact that a 60, like he should have hit that, but. Like, you should have just let him miss it. You're absolutely right. But then once you make it a 45, that's usually a gimme. Unless you're Jake Moody, that's a gimme.
Right. You can say, well, the Colts wouldn't be this if you could also say, well, the Eagles wouldn't if CeeDee Lamb could catch or if Travis Kelce did. Whatever. That's what happens. That's where we're at. Good teams win when those things happen, and they punish you. So,
yeah. Seahawks would be repeat Super Bowl champs if we handed the ball off.
Let's go.
Happens to all of us.
All right, what do you got? You got something else?
Yeah. I was touching on it last week. I really wanted to go in depth a little bit into my my rookie quarterback take, and this is something that I feel very strongly about, and that is that teams that draft a rookie quarterback early in their rebuild are basically just throwing in the towel and entering a second rebuild. We see it all the time. So my opinion is that a team, if you want to be successful, if you want to have a shot at winning a championship, you owe it to your team and to the quarterback that you're drafting to already have built a team around that rookie. I think that is what helps teams win championships. And my favorite example of that is my hometown Seahawks. When we drafted Russell Wilson, we had been in a rebuild for about 10 years. But really, it had just begun in the last couple of years after signing and hiring Pete Carroll and structuring a defense and an offensive line. And then that's when we drafted the rookie quarterback, and we were able to win a Super Bowl on his rookie contract. I feel like that is the formula to win. The Eagles did it with Jalen Hurts. Mm-hmm. And so I'm curious what your thoughts about this, about why a team would draft a rookie quarterback if they have not already built a team. Do they really think that like a rookie straight out of college is going to change the culture, change the momentum that much, and is going to be good enough to win a team on his own, like win games on his own? Or like, what's the mindset going into that?
Look, bad teams are bad teams, and I'm on the record as saying 2 things here. Number one, I figured out as a teenager that the best front offices have the best teams, right? It's not whoever has the best running back, Your best front office is going to build the best team. That's why the Browns always get in their own way, and that's why you saw the Bengals for years just doing dumb things, right? Bad front offices. The Eagles front office is top of the league. Them, the Chiefs, for a long time the Patriots. There's teams that would year in and year out they made the right moves. Jerry Jones is constantly making the wrong moves in the draft. So front office. The second one is that you don't have. I'm also on the record as saying that you build the lines first. Offense. You can pick offensive or defensive line, whichever one you want to build first. But you need to build both lines, and then you can worry about everything else, right? And as long at least it doesn't have to be perfect, but you at least have to get some anchors, some pieces in there, so that someone can defend your quarterback. Ask Joe Burrow how he feels about that.
Exactly. I was going to touch on that in a second.
The reason why teams do this is varied, right? So some of it is you've got a coach or a GM whose job is on the line and he needs some pop, right? So the team is bad and he goes, oh, look, quick, let's just grab that guy. Let's grab that guy. And you watch some guys stretch and they make bad moves. And then you watch guys sometimes do things like the Bills taking Josh Allen. Like, was it the right time? You know what? It's worked out pretty well for him. But I'll push back on you a little bit because there's times where someone sees a quarterback, says that guy is going to alter our future, we'll build around him. And it can work. But you need extraordinary circumstances. Troy Aikman is a perfect example. Troy Aikman, taken number 1 overall, right? He played at 2 different schools. He came into the NFL on a terrible team. He was getting destroyed. But Jimmy Johnson, who was his coach, he was also the GM. He went out and he found some idiots in Minnesota willing to trade 9 players and draft picks to get Herschel Walker. And so by trading that one guy, he was able to build a team off of that. And if you go through and track who they drafted out of those, unbelievable. You got Emmitt Smith, you got Michael Irvin, you got linebacker. It's an amazing thing. So without something like that, you can't draft that quarterback. Because I don't care how good the quarterback is. If you can't keep him healthy, Joe Burrow, then he's not going to make the difference that you want him to. Build the line, and you get away with some stuff. We watched this with the Ravens back in the day. They won a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer. Okay? Not amazing, but they had a good enough defense and a good enough offensive line. They could open some holes. Rob Johnson down in Tampa. We've seen this happen before. Build a good line and you'll be fine. So that's why they do it. They're reaching.
Yeah.
Butts and seats.
I think that today's biggest example of a failure to do that is in Jacksonville. I think that Jacksonville is just horrific right now. They were in this rebuild. They were horrible. They were the worst team in football. And they're like, okay, time to change all that. We're going to bring in Trevor Lawrence. He's that guy. He's going to change our franchise himself. And they did not build a team around him. But then they paid him because they're like, well, but he's really good. And then now they're paying him exuberant amounts of money so that they can't pay the rest of their players to put around him. And they're not winning football games.
Well, you don't have to look any further than Baker Mayfield and watch what happened there. He even won a playoff game. Then he moves on. And then another bad team, the Carolina Panthers, cut him. And he went to a good team, the Rams. And he went to a good team and a good front office. And now he's thriving. Sam Darnold.
He's my fantasy quarterback.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Again, you get drafted by the Jets. You go into a bad team. You go to a good team. All of a sudden, things get better. It's amazing how that works.
Yeah. And so I think that quarterback should be the last position that a team takes in their rebuild in order to go win a Super Bowl. I think that that's the formula that it works.
Well, my only pushback on that is when you say last one, maybe you've got certain ones that you're talking about that you need for a Super Bowl. But to me, the last area that you worry about is your running back. I think
that too. These days, yes.
Lines, you build both lines, and then I'm going. If I have a game changing quarterback, I'll go for him. Once the lines are decent, right? They're good enough, and then I'll go cornerback, linebacker, wide receiver, running back. Well, safety and cornerback, maybe defense back.
maybe it's just the Seattle in me, but I think you take corner before quarterback. I really do because
I think it
I
just
think
depends
that
on the guy.
I think that you can take a quarterback. You can like either sign or draft a young guy, but then just let him develop. Just let him sit and develop behind a veteran, even if that veteran sucks. Just keep him sitting and then until he's ready to step in and
Well, the
you have a
thing
team
is
built around him ready to go win.
I've read up on the whole debate of, well, defense wins championships. No, offense does, right? And the fact of the matter is that they both do. And so when you're talking about, well, I got to get that cornerback or I've got to get that quarterback, what it comes down to, and you can go across the several, the various different sports. The teams that end up being like number one, number two in offense or defense, they tend to win.
Yeah.
So maybe you can't be horrific in the other, right? You can't be like 30th in defense, number one in offense. That's not going to work. But if you're top 5, top 10 in defense, number one in offense, you're the favorite.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Unless you're going up against the number one defense. We remember how that went in
Well, and even
Super
then,
Bowl
when you look
48.
at the number one, I was even reading about this. Number one versus number one, it's good, but there's no definitive answer. It's not just, well, if it's number one, it's always defense. No, it's like 50-50.
Well, yeah.
54-46. It's very close.
But that game was not 50-50. That was not even close.
Nope.
All right, what's your next topic?
Jekyll and Hyde. We saw in the first 2 weeks of the season, I'm going to pick out 5 teams, and I need you to tell me, we're not going to break down the whole game and the whole team, but I need you to tell me which team are we going to see the rest of the season. We had week 1, the Vikings, 27. Week 2, 6. Week 1, Giants, 6. Week 2, 37 in overtime. Lions 13 and 52, Dolphins 8 and 27, Jets 32 and 10. Some of these guys who scored points, like the Jets 32 was still in a loss to Pittsburgh.
The Giants one was a loss for sure.
37 was in a loss. The Dolphins 27. So, but which team is which? I've got my own takes on these 5 teams here, but who's who? What's what? What are we going to see here?
So the first thing I can think of is that the Giants, I don't think that the Giants played up to the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys played down to the Giants.
Okay.
I think the Giants the Cowboys let the Giants score that many points. It wasn't the Giants playing up to the Cowboys offense. It was the Cowboys defense playing down to the Giants offense. That's why that game was close.
So you're saying the Giants are still a bad team?
I think the Giants are still a bad team. And I love Russell Wilson. I love Malik Neighbors. Yeah. I think that team is in the dumps right now. But I said that about the Colts, so maybe I'm giving them some sort of reverse jinx that will help them. I don't know. I didn't hire an Etsy witch like the Mariners did, but I don't know if you've looked into that. That's a funny topic that you can look into. I think that. So the Vikings, first off, J.J. McCarthy is not that guy, and he's injured. He's not that guy yet. I think that he can be. He has the tools, but he's clearly not ready.
He looked like that guy in the second half on week 1. He looked really good, but then
he sure did.
Deer in headlights and hurt.
So I think that the Bears also proved that they were playing down to J.J. McCarthy because they got stomped on by the Lions, who got embarrassed by the Packers. It's a circle of it's already.
There's only one good team in the NFC North, maybe. I don't know.
I think that's accurate. I think that's very accurate.
I think there's only one consistently good team in the NFC North, and that's the Packers.
Yes. The other teams, they can play up, they can play down, but I think that the Packers are the clear favorite to win that division. I think that they'll be a top 3 team in the NFC.
What about Dolphins and Jets? Which team is which?
They're both horrid. I think that they're both the bad one. The Jets, not only is Justin Fields not that guy whatsoever, he is also injured. He's concussed, and he's going to miss some time. I think it's Tyrod Taylor that's stepping in, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So I think that they're going to be on a slump for a bit, and I think that they're going to lose all their momentum, and they're not going to be able to put up that kind of offense for a while that they put up against the Steelers.
These 5 teams, then, what's your take on the Vikings? Then you're saying that they're okay, they're not great.
I think that the Vikings, they're going to be okay. I think the reason that they're struggling is because J.J. McCarthy's struggling. They were very good last year with a bridge quarterback in Sam Darnold. I think that whoever comes in and steps in for them will be able to, I think that it'll be a positive move for them on over JJ because JJ's just not ready. I think that he needs to sit for a little longer.
You don't know who's starting?
Dude, we have no clue. They
Carson Wentz.
Oh. I think that Carson Wentz is close enough to Sam Darnold. I'm lying. I just have to back up because I made that take.
Looked good for a little bit in Philly, and then he didn't anymore. So that was that.
Okay, I think that Carson Wentz will be a slight step up from today's JJ McCarthy because I don't think that JJ McCarthy is ready to start. I thought that he was an interesting prospect coming out of Michigan. I didn't think that he was ready to be a starter. I didn't think that he was going to be a top 10 pick. That was shocking to me.
My take on JJ last year, before the season started, was that he was a question mark for me. I didn't know which way he was going to go. I felt like he was kind of he might be one of those journeyman quarterback. He could be pretty good. I'm not sure he's good, but I just don't know if he's going to handle it, and then didn't play last year. But so here's what, it's funny you said that the Vikings are okay, because what I wrote down, my own notes were Vikings are okay, but they will struggle with Wentz or with the rookie J.J. McCarthy, right? When he's in there, they're going to have good games, bad games. When they have Carson Wentz, I'll just tell you this, because you probably didn't know or see it. Last year when the Chiefs had the season locked up, they decided to start Carson Wentz in the last week of the season against the Broncos, and it was his chance to get. I think it was one of these like, hey, we'll give him a chance. We're resting the starters. He has a shot to go out. And so I thought, oh, you know what? This guy might ball out. This could be good. He gets a chance to curb stomped. He was a disaster. You should find the highlights of that. If you can't find them, I will send them to you.
Oh, gosh.
It's so bad. I've never seen a guy step up in a must-win situation, or at least show out a time where he's got to show that he's got something left to get another contract, and just no.
So here's where I'll push back. If they really did bench their starters, then it's basically him playing with, the practice squad. And in that case, it shouldn't be that surprising that it wasn't a great performance because he wasn't throwing to Travis Kelce.
You gotta see the highlights.
Okay. Was he playing against starters with backups on his side of the ball?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't think that I think the Broncos needed that win, but bro, like you should at least look like you've played football before.
Okay. Then that'll be interesting to see.
I also say the Giants are still a bad team. You're going to have I think they've showed that they can have moments, right? I think they'll have a couple of surprise wins. Maybe they'll beat a team or two that you didn't expect them to. The Lions are good, but they're not this good. They're not 52 points, second highest scoring offense in a game ever. The Dolphins are still bad. They're going to struggle. Maybe they get 4 wins, something like that, 4 or 5 wins. And the Jets might be, I mean, there's no such thing as a 500 team anymore now that we have 17 games, but I think they're going to hover around a 500 team. So,
wow.
Yeah.
You're a little bit more optimistic about the Jets than I am.
That's really, looking at their schedule. I'm not going through the schedule and picking.
Oh, yeah, me neither. I'm looking at their team. I don't think
between 6 and 8 wins, so.
Okay. Yeah. I'd say around like 6, 7, around there. I think that, the Dolphins they're gonna have like 1 or 2 like big upsets, but they're gonna hover around like 4 or 5 wins. I think that they're just gonna have a random game where they get super motivated and they go out in there and they surprise a team, but then they just the next game it's like, oh wait,
he can't stay healthy.
Exactly. The next game Tua's gonna show up and it's gonna be like he just got concussed and he can't see straight, whatever it is, and it's just sad, man, because I have Tyreek on my fantasy team, and it's not going great. I've drafted Tyreek Hill every year I've ever done fantasy football, and it's just this year's different, man.
Drafting the same guy year after year, at some point it bites you.
Yeah, it never bit me with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry I'm bummed. I gave up on him this year. I didn't draft him. I drafted Saquon at number 2, and I wish I could have traded down or something. I don't know if that's even possible, but I love Derek.
Do you have another topic or a game or anything you want to do here towards the end?
No, that was all I wrote down. I just want to talk about Cal Raleigh and want to talk about why teams keep taking these guys. Because we talked about last week I got kind of exposed on my Colts take, and I believed a little bit too hard in the Titans. I really thought that Cam Ward. I got fooled. I'm sitting here talking
I'll
about
tell you
this.
what,
I'm the one that
Cam
got
Ward
fooled.
can sure get you into field goal range.
Yeah, and that
That's
one
what you
touchdown
want,
he
is you
threw
want
was
his
crazy.
You need his kicker. That's what you want. That's what you want. Is you want the
Yeah.
Tennessee kicker.
And not to get into like Zach Wilson territory, but like that one throw really made me believe in him. That one throw he had, that touchdown he threw last week, that was insane.
Yeah.
And it makes me want to like really believe that he can be the guy that can turn them around this season. But it just begs the question of, did they put the right tools around him? And I just don't think that they did anymore. I thought they did last time I was on here. I was like, yeah, I like the tools they brought in. But I mean, watching the games, man, it's like he's fighting for his life out there, and it's his second game. He shouldn't be doing that. You should not be putting a guy in that situation. If your team is not ready to win, then don't put the rookie in yet. Let him develop. I just don't get it. If you're going to lose either way, why risk damaging the production?
Game. The macabre game we've got at this point. There's a lot of starters out and bench player and backup quarterbacks in. So, who is the next starting quarterback to go out injured?
It's a great question.
And I mean, we can count Jaden Daniels as out injured. I mean, he's already iffy. He might already be out, so we won't count him as the on the list because he's maybe the most obvious one. Is it Tua? Is it? I mean, there's some guys that get really well protected. Jalen Hurts has really good offensive line. Some of these guys know how to slide, so you don't generally put those high on the list. Who's the next one out? And whoever you come up with, I want to know who has got the best backup quarterback situation. If your quarterback had to go down for, let's just say, 2 to 4 weeks, that you'd actually feel okay with the backup in.
Okay. So your first question of who's coming down next, I think that the two obvious answers are Aaron Rodgers.
Old man Rodgers, yeah.
Yeah, I think that you always got to be scared, and Tua. I think that Aaron Rodgers, he's been shaky the last 2 seasons in New York, and he's 41. I mean, when I watched the highlights of the Seahawks game, that guy was kind of running for his life a couple of times. And he was impressive when he did it, but he was running for his life. His offensive line was not doing him any favors. Tua, I mean, I don't get how he's still playing. I mean, do they have pension in football? Because he should qualify for that.
What it is, if you get cleared by the doctors, then his contract, if the doctors did not clear him to come back and play, then there's insurance that would pay him out most of his contract. But if they give you clearance and then he just decides to not play, then that's it. He doesn't get any money. So they signed this deal. They never should have given him the money, but at any rate, no. It's yes, there are pensions. It's minimal. It's not a big thing, but But he's on this big contract, so as long as he can, and he's a huge football family, and I understand that, but we've seen some horrific things. I had the same 2 guys down. Rodgers is old. Tua it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
But I don't feel good about either their backups.
Mason Rudolph and Zach Wilson.
Mason Rudolph.
Hey, dude, don't disrespect my boy Zach right there, man.
Hey, I'll say that while I don't want to, conjure anything up, I want Jalen Hurts to start. If he went down, we did get a little peek last year at Tanner McKee, his backup, and he's good. I like him. And then, we have multiple backup quarterbacks. We also have the kid from Syracuse, as I believe he's still the 3rd stringer.
I mean, as an Eagles fan, you got a first-hand taste of just how good our backup quarterback is in Seattle, Drew Lock. Legacy game.
Yeah. Oh wait, no. Sam Howell is our third stringer. That's right. We signed him after the season started, or right at the beginning of the season to be a backup. And it's funny. It's showing Tanner McKee is actually questionable. Our backup's questionable. No, another guy who I like. I think the Raiders. They have a good backup quarterback. in Kenny Pickett. We saw him. He stepped in and he did really well with the Eagles. So I like
Yeah.
that.
I
According
think that the
to
New York Giants have the best backup quarterbacks in the league, though.
ESPN.com ranked the best backup quarterbacks. They said number 1 is Kirk Cousins. 2, Jake Browning, who's now starting. Number 3, Jackson Dart. Number 4, Marcus Mariota. Number 5, Tanner McKee. Number 6, Jacoby Brissett for the Cardinals. Number 7 is Gardner Minshew with the Chiefs. I didn't realize he was their backup. And then, oh, that's where they got him. It says that in 2024, the Raiders signed Minshew to a 2-year, $25 million deal with a $15 million guarantee. And so the Chiefs only have to pay him $1.2 million. Tyler Shuck is number 8, Anthony Richardson 9, Dalton 10 for the Panthers, and Carson Wentz number 11 with Jameis Winston number 12. So the Giants have 2 on the top 12.
I'm kind of bewildered that Drew Lock is not higher because that legacy game he had against the Eagles defense, like one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
I'm kind of perplexed that he's not higher up on that list, but
I also Marcus Mariota is as high as he is.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out this week if he really is starting in Washington.
Yeah, he
That'll
may
be
or may not.
interesting
They're
to see.
talking about Jaden Daniels may wear a knee brace, but my hot take last year when they drafted all those quarterbacks was Caleb Williams would not be any good, and so far I'm looking pretty right on that. I said that Jaden Daniels would be RG3. I said he is amazingly talented, but he's going to be plagued by injuries. And I read a stat about him today that he has the most, I'm trying to think what it was, most contact or most, I think it's most hits, most contact by any quarterback in the league in the last 2 years. And that portends injuries. So, and I said Michael Penix would be good as long as he stayed healthy, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
I also picked Bo Nix. I said he's going to be the steal of the draft. He's going to be he might be a poor man's Brett Favre, but he plays that kind of game with the gunslinger mentality.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to
I don't hate those takes.
With the wins, so.
I don't hate those takes because the Jaden Daniels scared me as a prospect because of that picture of his like elbow. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
that picture of his elbow at LSU, that scared the crap out of me. I'm like, no. Like, that guy's not going to be able to throw the football. He's going to get injured all the time. So, yeah, I don't hate that take at all because that picture
he's
frightens
just so
me.
skinny, I'd see him running, and I'm like, that dude's going to get trucked.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, I think that's it. We wrap it up here and see how our takes turn out.
Yeah, and be sure to keep me posted. I guess one last thing before we wrap up is, how are you doing in fantasy?
I juiced some of the numbers in my league in the off season, and so I scored 192 this week and got beaten by 30. The top scorer in our league, he beat a guy who had like 212, and he beat him by 30 or 40. So
oh my gosh!
I'm 1-1. I'm never any good. 1-1 is what I am. That's who I am.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm rocking a fresh 2-0. Let me remember what my matchup last week looked like. I had a pretty solid performance because I had Mahomes and Puka Nacua who both showed out, but it's looking like my MVP might end up being James Cook because Ashton Genty was pretty overrated, I think, coming in. And I just kind of trusted that he was going to get a bunch of carries, going to get a bunch of yards, get all the goal line touches, but it hasn't looked like that's been the case so far. So I'm getting carried. James Cook has been showing out in Buffalo, and I'm very grateful for that.
All right.
So,
well, everybody like and subscribe.
Do it.
Share it.
Do
Send it to your friends.
Best show on the platform right here.
Boom. You heard it first. Go Phils. Go Birds.
Go Hawks. Go M's.
See you later.